morning, ladies and gentlemen. Friends, how we doing on this hump day? Good morning. Welcome back to Game On. This is a Sports Morning Espresso Shot. I'm your host, Will, here to bring you the latest and greatest going on in the sports world. Grab your favorite cup of coffee. I got mine right here. Sit back, relax. I'm going to tell you what's on the menu today, all right? Oh, we're going to be talking about football because it's football season. We're in the thick of it. We're going to talk about some of these teams, where they're at. Are the Buffalo Bills in panic mode? Possibly. We got the trench report to talk about. The latest numbers are up. We're going to dive into that. We might do some Rumble Premium at the end of this. I don't know. We're going to see where this road takes us. We're going to talk a little baseball. Both road teams go out and get the first two wins of the series. What does history tell us about that? Ain't looking good for those home teams who now have to hit the road and try to make a comeback. We got college football to talk about, and of course, it is a highlight Wednesday. And I fucked up yesterday. I fucked up real bad. I forgot we had highlight yesterday. Crick hopped in here. I'm not even going to blame Crick for distracting me, but he did distract me. I totally forgot to talk about highlight. Those people over at the World Highlight League, this is what they were thinking of me yesterday.
This guy sucks. Holy hell.
But yeah, yesterday I sucked, but don't worry. We're going to make up for it today. We got a highlight match today. We're going to talk about highlight, recap what happened yesterday, and we're going to dive into the highlight today. All that and more. Plus, just as always, wherever the show takes us, wherever you guys take us. I got to give you guys another round of applause. You guys are crazy. That is for you. You want to know why? Let me share this to you right now. 22,000. You guys, you mad lads out there, 22,000. How about that? That is pretty awesome. You forgot to go to work, nerd? Me? I don't work today. It's a weird work week for me, but I got Wednesday off today, so that's why we started the show a half hour later. So I got to get a couple extra minutes of sleep. Show isn't on my feed this morning. Had to go to the page immediately. What? There's been some interesting things going on. I all of a sudden now, I'm trying to figure out how to turn it off without just turning off all push notifications from the Rumble app. But now every time I get a new follower, which I really appreciate, I get a notification about it. I don't want that. I don't want to be getting all these notifications that this person followed your channel, this person. So I got to figure out how to turn that off. I was messing around with it this morning. High life work. Oh, yes. I know. I forgot. Good morning, Patriot. Good morning, Grass Guy. How we do it? What are we doing? Biscuits, spicy honey to go with your fried chicken today. Ooh, my in-laws brought over some Houston hot chicken yesterday after my daughter had her last volleyball game. That was pretty good. Really spicy though. I don't do spice because I'm white. Way better than sweet and sour. Ooh, I do like a good sweet and sour chicken though. If it's done right, I do like it. But the show isn't on your feed. Let me check my feed. I'm up there on the feed. Huh. That's weird. That is weird. We're being censored. This is the most censored show actually know. My Uncensored Pharmacist is the most censored show. This is the second most censored show I have. That's interesting, though. I don't know why that is. But thank you once again for the 22,000. Dude, I posted this Arch Manning video because I was like, oh, I should just post it up there because it was cool. I posted it as a short over on YouTube. Last I checked, let me look. It went like my shorts usually, like a good short is like a 500 views or whatever for my stuff. Last I checked, oh my God, it was at 19,000. I got 27,000 views in that short yesterday. That was pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Just for posting a clip or, a one play from a game, but because I was at the game with my own angle on it. That's pretty sweet. I've been having bad experience with Rumble app and live stream. Sold all my Rumble stock and locked in a double. At a baby. Well, I mean, good job on doubling it. That's what I'm supporting there. Rumble goes through growing spurts, man. It's all right. We've been here. We've been through it. Dude, next month, you guys can't let me forget. Next month, what day is it? The 23rd? No, the 22nd. It's a Saturday. Is my 5-year anniversary. I joined Rumble 5 years ago, so we got to do a big celebration. I forgot last year, but it's the 5-year. November 22nd. I looked. It's a Saturday. 5 years of being a Rumble creator. I've been here through the thick and thin of it, man. I was here when they had the app where when you posted a video, it would go head to head and you do a little Rumble battle. You get 24 hours of Rumble battle, and people would either like it. It was like the vote up or vote down type of thing. And if you were one of the top videos that day, you got like featured on the front page or something like that. They got away with that pretty quickly, like a year into me being on here. Good morning, Miss Leslie. How we doing? How's the new place? Coming along? What up, J Main? How we doing? I was wondering if Crick was going to come in here today. I kind of had my fingers crossed for it. That man needs to get some sleep in. You know what I mean? Where do we want to start? I have so many different places I want to start. I'm thinking about doing something crazy. So I'm glad you're here supporting. I want to do something crazy. I want to get your opinion on it. I kind of, in my main survivor, that's alive for, let's see if it's up. Let me look. See what's up. I don't think they open it till today. So I in this $1 million survivor, right? Ooh, look at that. I got one entry left. There's 8,000 of us left. I've made some disgusting picks. Last week I took the Raiders. The week before that I took the Panthers. So I have burned some bad teams, which is good. And I'm thinking about burning one more bad team, and then I should be set. I am thinking about using the Cleveland frickin' Browns this week. I'm going to select them right now, just so I don't forget. But I am thinking about burning the Cleveland Browns. I mean, they're favored over Miami, and I actually like them at home. Their only win this year was at home. Coming off the London game, then going to Pittsburgh. Now they get to come back home, sleep in their own beds. That defense shows up. I don't know what Miami does. Miami is a mess right now. But some of the popular picks this week are the Steelers. Obviously, the Chiefs are the Raiders because they're the biggest favorite, which I don't know why people are using Chiefs, because you need to save a team for that Thanksgiving weekend or week, because we got to make 2 picks that weekend. I'm saving the Chiefs and the Cowboys. I don't know who I'm going to pick yet. Probably the Chiefs if they stay healthy, because I don't see Kansas City losing to Dallas, especially since they'll have, Rashee Rice is coming back. They'll have their guys. Dallas' defense is just horrible. I expect Andy Reid to game plan to beat that defense. But, maybe they do get some injuries, and then I have the Cowboys. I could use the Cowboys if I need to. But a lot of people are using Chiefs this week. A lot of people are using the Patriots. I don't see the Patriots losing this week because the Titans are a mess right now. But you got to be careful. This is their 3rd straight road game. Feels like a trap. A lot of people are using the Bears over the Saints. That's interesting. Broncos over the Giants. That one's also interesting. A lot of these ones are risky. I know they're heavy favorites in the betting market, but it is risky, man. But there are a lot of tough choices. I kind of like the Seahawks over Houston. I like the Lions over the Bucks, but do I want to burn the Lions right now, especially against this red hot Tampa Bay team? Probably not. I kind of like the Falcons over the Niners. Packers are a good one to use this week, but God, this Packers team. Do you trust them on the road? They haven't won a road game this season, you know? They lost to Cleveland and then they tied the Cowboys. And we just think they're going to go down to Arizona and just win easy. I don't know about that. I like the Colts this week. I do like the Colts this week. What up, Mont? How we doing? Tell me who you have used, and I'll put in a good. I'll put in Pool Gene to see what they say. Okay, I've used the Raiders, the Panthers, the Texans, the Bills, the Ravens for their only win of the season. I got pretty lucky there, and the Eagles. So I've used some good teams. I've also used a lot of bad teams. Use Houston. Who wants to use Houston? Who wants to use the Panthers? And who wants to use the Raiders? So those are the teams I've used. Jamie said, I'm fading ticket counts if it's over 60%. It'll be heavily invested. Yeah, I'm going to start doing that too. I'm going to use a trench report, and then I'm going to also start fading those very, very popular picks. Because they are, so far, we're 6 weeks in the season, and just doing that has been very profitable. ATL coming off Monday night and going on the road. I know, but that Niners defense looks awful with Fred Warner out and Bosa out. They should be able to run on that Niners defense. Should be. We'll see. I agree with you, though. Got to be careful. Can't trust the Falcons. Grass Guy says Houston. I already used Houston, so I can't use them. Coming off a bye, head up to Seattle. Tough place to play. So they say first I should use Denver. Second, I should use KC. Third, Green Bay. Well, I can't use KC. Like I said, I got to save some teams for that Thanksgiving weekend or that Thanksgiving week. Broncos. I do think the Broncos are going to smash the Giants, but it is risky. They do not look good. Maybe it isn't. Maybe they actually are flawed. We will see. Green Bay on the road. That's not a bad pick. If I end up not getting risky and taking the Browns, I probably will use Green Bay. Rams, Jags in London. Who trusts that? The New York Jets. No. It's not. It's rough. It's rough this week, man. It's rough. Trench report has Steelers winning. Yeah, we're gonna get into the trench report. We're gonna get into that. It's not all the details are out with it. But they did send the email out, so we'll take a look at that email and whatnot. I'm on Niners. They don't have Cowboys defensive coach, so they can adjust and overcome. Maybe. But even when they had Fred Warner in there, they were pretty bad at stopping the run. And Bijan found his legs this week. So maybe we'll see. We'll see. I don't know, guys, seen this. I posted some of these. Some of the best teams against the spread this season. All these teams are 4-2. There's no team better than 4-2 against the spread. Colts, Lions, Seahawks, Bucks, Rams, Patriots, Panthers, Jags. The reason why I post these is because maybe some of these teams we want to start fading. What happens is these teams were clear when they're this good against the spread, that means the market has undervalued them. So what you want to keep an eye on is when is the market adjusting too much? Because each week when these teams cover, they're getting adjusted. So we got to now start looking at it like, are they getting a little expensive? Is it time to sell them? And then the bad teams, it's like, when do we want to buy in on them? Bengals, Titans, Raiders, Browns, Saints, Bills, Broncos. And then, of course, the worst team is the Ravens, 1-5 ATS. This is why I think everyone always talks about having a bye week and wanting it to be like in the middle of the season. I don't think that's smart. I think a week 6 or a week 7, like we're in now, I think that's a perfect time for a bye week. You get 5 or 6 games in, and you get to see what your team is. If your team's good, great. Let them rest. Work on a few little things that you need to, and just continue what you're doing. But like with the Ravens and Houston, who just is coming off a bye, and the Bills needed a bye more than anyone. Maybe you could make an argument for the Ravens, but there's just a lot of injury-related stuff. The Bills are injured too, but they need to figure out what the hell they want to do on offense for the Bills. But those teams, great time to have a bye week. The Bills got to figure out what they're going to do. Because what you've got your players, right? You've got your players. Maybe you can make a trade or something like that, but you've got your players. You've got your team. You're like a chef in the kitchen. You got your ingredients. This is what you get to work with. Figure out what you're going to make and how, And that's what the Bills are going to do. They're going to figure out what they want to be offensively, and they got to figure out, listen, our defense sucks. But we got to find a way that at least we can stop something, whether it's we're going to stop the run or we're just not going to give up deep passes, something like that. And so this is a great time for a bye to figure all that kind of stuff out. So I do think a week 6 or 7 bye is perfect. Because then if you start figuring it out and you get some momentum going for the next 2 months. Patriot would argue for week 10. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but if your team stinks. Like if the Bills or Ravens didn't have a bye this week and they had to wait till week 10, there's no stopping the snowball right now. It's rolling down the hill. By week 10, what? It might be too late when you come back to salvage your season. The Ravens-Bills game showed that both those defenses suck. Yeah. I still agree. I was talking with Crick about this the other day on the show. I don't think there's a good defense in the league. Consistently good. Week in and week out, good. I think one of the better defenses in the league is the Rams. I think they're a little underrated. But even then, Green Bay has the best odds with lowest future value. Is that for the Survivor? Are they just predicting when else would you rather take them? We can take a look at that. Let's see. That's a good point. When else would we rather take Packers? They're at Pittsburgh. I guess they're home against the Panthers. That might be a good week to take them. But then again, I don't know the other matchups that week. They're at the Giants. Maybe home against the Bears. Yeah, none of these other ones I really want to take them because they do have kind of a brutal stretch. They got to go to the Steelers. Home Panthers, probably the only other time I take them. Then home Eagles, at the Giants, Vikings, Lions, Bears, Broncos, Bears, Ravens, Vikings. That's a good point. We might have to use them. But when am I ever going to want to use the Browns? When am I ever going to want to use the Browns? What's up, Nico? Says Survivor thoughts this week. He used Arizona, Dallas, Seattle, Denver, Detroit, and Green Bay. Lean towards the chalk with KC and New England. Yeah, it depends. Listen, like I was saying, if you need a team, if your Survivor pool, not everyone does this. My Survivor pool makes me pick a game. I got to pick a team that plays on Thanksgiving. So there's 6 teams. We can go look at that right now. Or the Black Friday game. And then I have to pick a team on that Sunday as well. So I've been saving the Chiefs for that. Here are your options: Packers and Lions. You've already used both of those, so that's out. Chiefs, Cowboys. I'm saving both of those because I don't know which team I want to pick. It depends on how healthy they are going into that game. But I mean, I would trust the Chiefs if they're healthy. Short week, they play on Sunday and they got to play on Thursday. I would trust the Chiefs even in Dallas. Bengals, Ravens. I guess you could use the Ravens. Who knows what the Ravens are going to look like or what the Bengals are going to look like at that point? Or you can use Bears, Eagles. But I think, have you used the Eagles yet? You haven't used the Eagles, so you could save the Eagles against the Bears. That still seems a little risky. And then I have to pick a game on that Sunday. So that's why I'm saving them. New England, I think, is a good play. I don't think they lose that game, but I'm just scared of it being they're everyone's darling right now. They just took a lead in the division since the first time since Tom Brady left. And then it's their third straight road game. They went up to Buffalo, went down to New Orleans, and now they're going to Tennessee. That does wear on a team. Sporting says you don't have to use all the teams. You don't, but you do have to use like 2/3 of the league. You got to use about 20 teams depending on how many picks your survivor make you pick. So you're going to have to use some disgusting teams at some points. But that is a good point. Browns are probably, they're the bottom tier, so I could get past not taking the Browns. It probably is right, but Green Bay is probably the play. Green Bay is probably the play. You just pick one a week so you don't have to save for the holidays. Okay. Then yeah, if you want to burn New England, that's the other thing too. New England has the easiest schedule, so if you save them, there's probably going to be other good spots to use New England. That's another reason why I'm not looking at New England yet. But you do got to survive in advance, so I don't blame you there. Yeah, I don't know, man. I do think the Rams win in Jacksonville, but the London games are funky. I kind of like the Jets over the Panthers, but that's a gross pick. I'd stay away from Chicago Saints. That feels like a trap game. Vikings, Eagles, coin flip that one. Broncos, probably get it done. I like the Colts, but they're an underdog. Do you really want to take an underdog on the road as your survivor pick? Probably not. You're right, supporting. Green Bay is probably the play. Green Bay is probably the play for me. Cowboys, Commanders. You want to use the Commanders, probably a good spot. I wish you could just pick the over in this game. Do you see this total? It got up to like 55.5. In our season pools supporting. In our season pool, you know how you can do the points, the whatever points the team gets added to your total. I chose Dallas and Washington this week. They're the highest total by far on the board, I think, of the year. I don't know how these teams don't score every drive. So I'm fingers crossed that we get a massive over in that one. Grass Guy says saving the Cowboys. I'm saving the Cowboys because if something happens to this Chiefs team, like God forbid Patrick Mahomes goes down or something like that, or their defense gets more banged up, I will pick the Cowboys to beat the Chiefs on Thanksgiving for that pick. Only thing I can say the Cowboys, they fire that dork defense coach. They might. They got a bye week coming up in a couple of weeks. That might be the time they do it. Are you copying me, Most Bro? No, I'm not copying you. What are you talking about? What you talking about? Yeah, so I think we're going to see a lot of points in the Dallas-Washington game. A total at 55.5, dude. That is insane. That is insane. I did for my loser survivor. I picked Arizona. My all 32 one and done, where you got to pick a team, 2 teams each week at the point now where they just got to win. I'm using Cleveland this week, and I'm using Chicago as of right now. That's where I'm at. That's where we're at with the contest. We got time to think on it. We got time. We'll see what the trench report says too when the full trench report comes out. Interesting, crazy, man. Could you imagine if you had the balls and thought about this to start fading, like on the money line, all the primetime favorites? The last 7 NFL primetime games, 6 of the favorites have lost outright. So start with the Rams over the Niners, you're losing to the Niners. Bills lost to the Patriots. Chiefs lost to the Jags. Eagles lost to the Giants. Chiefs won, so that was one that came through against the Lions. Bills lost on Monday, and the Commanders lost on Monday. That is crazy. Makes you nervous if you're taking Pittsburgh tomorrow night, huh? Makes you a little nervous. I think you'll be fine, though. I think you'll be fine. What else did I retweet today? I don't think anything. Oh, this is crazy. Fun little stat. The Bears' last 2 games, they have won exactly 25-24. We have to put $1 at least, right? Got to put at least $1 that the Bears beat the Saints 25-24, like the exact score. Because it can't happen 3 times in a row, can it? It can't, can it? Well, just in case it does, we got to have $1 on it, huh? But that's a nice little payday. You got to at least get 100 to 1 on that, right? That's kind of crazy, though. Heavy Step says, shout out to Patriot for the winner last night. That's all that man does is give you winners. That was a hockey winner, wasn't it? Nice little hockey winner for you. Where do we want to go? You guys want to check out the baseball game from last night? Yeah, Dodgers get the win 5-4. Oh, did hold on. I gotta see who. Damn it. I had a fun little. I used my free play on Bet Online. I did a home run parlay. I had Churio here homering, so that came through in the first inning. So I was fingers crossed the rest of the game. I had Freddie Freeman, since he hit one in game 1. I was like, maybe he's about to go on a little streak. No. It was like 37-1 I was getting on it. So that didn't come through. But yeah, the Dodgers do get it done. 5-1 victory. They're up 2-0 in the series heading back to LA. Dude, this Dodgers team is crazy. You had Blake Snell in game 1 go 8 innings. Yamamoto went full 9 innings yesterday. So that Dodger bullpen is fresh. Now I might make the argument when we get to the World Series, maybe that's not a good thing. Maybe these guys, don't want to have all this time off and whatnot, and they come out, maybe they're a little rusty. But you know what was crazy? We saw something last Friday with Tariq Skubal that never had happened in the postseason history in all of baseball, where a pitcher got at least 10 strikeouts. I think he got 13 and didn't walk a single person. Double-digit strikeouts, not walking a single person. First time ever in NFL, MLB history. It's been around a while. It's pretty impressive. And then Blake Snell comes out and does it on Tuesday. Blake Snell comes out and does the same thing. He had 10 strikeouts and no walks. It's crazy that something never happened. We saw in a matter of less than a week. Took the over in the game tonight. Wouldn't bet it past 7 at -110. Dodgers lineup is so stacked. Yeah, I make the argument that if the Dodgers win the World Series again this year, that is not great for baseball players, because you just threw fuel on the fire of why. And they're already talking about a salary cap in baseball. I don't know how they put that genie back in the bottle, but if the Dodgers win it again, I mean, the best team in baseball record-wise this season was the Brewers, right? And here they find themselves down 0-2 in the NLCS. Why? Because the Dodgers are just stacked. So if they win, I wouldn't be surprised, man. I wouldn't be surprised if we see more aggressive push towards a salary cap. Dodgers the only future ticket you still have working, says Patriot. Okay. So he'll be rooting them on. I'm excited. I think that's going to be a fun matchup. Mariners, Dodgers. I think it's going to be fun. I think that's going to be fun. But we do have a game tonight, and that is Blue Jays Mariners game 3. Sharp money on the Mariners at -130 home favorites. Big money on the Jays. 59% of the bet, 77% of the money is on the Blue Jays there. The total, like Steps is saying, is at 7. Sharp money on the over. Action Expert likes the over. 83% of the money is on the over, which is crazy because Mariners, not really a hitter's park. So someone knows something. Just think the Dodgers won't even have to pay Ohtani for like another 10 years. I know. They're going to have to adjust something. They're going to have to take that away. They're going to, because I don't think you can just come in and put a hard salary cap in. That's not going to fly. But I mean, think about it. You're a baseball player, right? They can do those deferred payments. They can spend whatever they want. Players, dude. Player, like, what was it? What came out? Bregman? Is it Bregman, right? Is that who's opting out of his contract that he just signed? Let's see. Yeah, Bregman's set to opt out of Red Sox deal. So he signs a 3-year, $120 million deal. But he can opt out at any point. And so he's going to opt out. Why? Because he wants to get it's probably not that he's looking for more than $40 million a year. I don't know who is going to pay him more than $40 million a year. But he wants a longer deal. Why? Because it's fully guaranteed. So think about that. You're a franchise, and you've got to pay this player. You agree to 3 years, $120 million. But that guy can opt. He can stay. If he sucks, he just stays in it. If he sucks, gets injured, whatever, he stays in it. You got to pay him that money. But he has all the power. When he wants to leave, he can leave to go get more money. That is wild. I mean, that's a great union, MLB union, players union right there. Good on you. But between that and if the Dodgers win the World Series again this year, I don't know what they do with the salary cap, but I guarantee you there's going to be discussions on how we're going to change this and fix it and whatnot. But I don't know how you put that genie back in the bottle. Paige says, I can't believe I have to cheer for the M's. Grass Guy says it's not set in stone. Oh, baby, we're gonna take a look at history here in a second. We're gonna take a look at history and see what history tells us about teams that are down 0-2. But tonight we got Shane Bieber versus George Kirby. George Kirby been pitching great. He was great in that game 5 on Friday. Well, this is gonna be a fun one tonight. I'm just gonna sit back and watch it. Maybe bet it live. I don't know. Maybe bet it live, but I don't got a play yet for me. But I'd love to see the Mariners go up 3-0. That'd be pretty cool. And if they do go up 3-0, guess what? They got Luis Castillo. And look at the Dodgers are pitching Tyler Glass now. How crazy is that? And here's the reason. The other reason why, Grass Guy, it is going to be tough for these teams to come back. Not only because they're down 0-2. The next 3 games are in Seattle, and the next 3 games are in LA. Because the World Series is that 2-3-2 format. So I don't know how, for example, for the Mariners, you got George Kirby tonight, Castillo tomorrow, and they got someone good for Game 5 if they need to go to Game 5. I don't know how the Mariners drop 2 of 3. I don't see this thing going to Game 6 and going back to Toronto. And I don't know what the hell the Brewers are going to do. I don't know what the hell the Brewers are going to do for pitching. I mean, when you could burn 2 of your better guys and your third guy in your pocket for the Dodgers, Tyler Glass now, this team is stupid. It is stupidly stacked. Good morning, Nate. How we doing, buddy? How we doing? This team is just stupidly stacked. Not only do you have to figure out how to get through that amazing Dodger lineup, but they got pitchers galore. I took the M's to sweep the Jays. I like that ticket. Heavy steps. I got 2 plays in college football tonight. Big money on the opposite side of these teams. Line hasn't moved. Take Jacksonville State and Sam Houston State tonight. I refuse. I'll take Jacksonville State with you. I refuse to put any of my hard-earned money, my hard-earned American dollars on Sam Houston State. I won't do it. They can win tonight. Go ahead. I ain't trusting them. That team.
This guy sucks. Holy hell.
That team sucks. That team sucks. Let's take a look at the games last night. I forgot that we had games last night, though. Dude, Liberty Bibbity gets the win, but they do not cover as 10-point favorites. We had some upsets last night, dude. Look at this. Liberty doesn't cover. If you took all the dogs just on the spread, you won. Arkansas State was a dog. They beat South Alabama. I'm pretty sure they were a dog from what I remember. Florida International was a dog to Western Kentucky, and they whooped that ass 25-6. How about that? They went into their own home field and beat the brakes off of them. They went in there and said, "Hey, Western Kentucky, listen up."
Bang! Bang! Come on, man. Bang! No, I'm not.
They said, "I'm going to throw your ass in the pond." That's exactly what they did. UTEP sucks too, 1-5, and it's a conference matchup. I don't care. I don't care how bad UTEP is. You can trust Sam Houston State tonight? Where's that game at even? Here it is. I guess they are home. I guess you got that going for you. They are home. But I mean, UTEP's 1-5 and they're 2.5-point road favorites. Seems weird. How about this, Steps? Just don't bet it. Don't watch it. It's going to be terrible football. Or don't do it. Just don't do it. Is that the mommy milkers I see in the chat? Those mom.
You got some tickle bitties and you don't know how to swing? Well, I'm here to help you. Next, you want to tuck your right arm and lay your left arm on top of that mommy milker. Bombs away?
Bombs away indeed. Don't worry, I'll be on the show tomorrow morning. Oh, yeah, you're coming on tomorrow. Yes. I love it. We can do a little longer show tomorrow, too, because I don't have to go to work. I get to go to work like an hour or two later. That's right, Miss Leslie. That's right. You'll be on the show tomorrow morning beating your chest after Sam Houston State covers tonight. We'll see. I don't disagree with you there. I do like the two. I like the 2.5s, betting the plus 2.5s more in the NFL than college football. But I'm not saying you're on the. I just can't do it. I can't bet Sam Houston State, man. Other games got Delaware and Jacksonville State. I guess we can go look at the action report, what they're saying. Let's see. Yeah, look, Liberty was 10.5-point favorites. They don't cover. South Alabama was 8.5-point favorites. They lose outright. And Western Kentucky was 10.5-point favorites. And those ding-dongs get their ass beat by double digits. Look at there was sharp money, big money there. There was sharp money on South Alabama. How'd that go? Sharp money on Liberty. How'd that go? Freaking sharps. Delaware, Jacksonville State. Delaware laying 3. I mean, who does Delaware think they are laying 3 on the road to anyone? Sharp money and big money is on Delaware. 42% of the bets, 57% of the money is on Delaware. Tulsa and East Carolina tomorrow. Oh, that's tomorrow night. That's tomorrow night. We'll get to that tomorrow. East Carolina minus 17.5. Damn. Do we get Louisville, Miami on Friday? Look at that. Louisville, Miami. Friday. Miami laying 13.5. All the signals, 95% of the money is on Louisville. What could go wrong there? We also get Nebraska, Minnesota. San Jose State. Shout out to Granny Spartans versus Utah State. UNC and Cal. Got some good Friday games, huh? We got some good Friday games to start our betting weekend. That'll be nice. What up, David? How we doing? Let's see. East Carolina is very bad. Yeah, a lot of teams are right now. What was I gonna get to next? Oh, I want to go. Let's go take a look at so this is, I don't know how else to pull this up other than showing you guys my email, but here we are. You can get stuff from Scott Seidenberg from Better Day. That's this right here. Betterday.com. BETTORDAY.com. He sends you a little email about what they're talking about on the podcast every day, and that's what we're going to look at. You can also go subscribe to his podcast if you want to. He's not a sponsor of the show. Just it's a good little 30-minute pod every day. But here's what they got. They got Week 7 trench report. Yamamoto makes history, and MLB series are all but over. Oh, I didn't know Yamamoto made history. Let's see. Dodgers win 5-1. It's the first complete game in MLB postseason since 2017. Wow. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, 9 innings pitched, 1 run, 7 strikeouts. First complete game in postseason since Justin Verlander did it in the 2017 ALCS game versus the Yankees. Check this out. We had this happen again. This happened to the Blue Jays the other night. Chiriot homered on the first pitch of the game last night, and then they got shut out the rest of the way. This is the first Dodgers complete game since Gavin Stone in June 26th last year. First Dodgers postseason complete game since Jose Lima in 2004 NLDS. Wow. Over 20 years. How about that? David said, not great after last night. I will chill until the NFL games. Good call. Good call. Series is essentially over. History not kind to the 0-2 teams. First time since 1970, both LCS started with road teams winning games 1 and 2. Damn, since 1970. It's been 50 years. Patriot probably remembers that in 1970, huh? That's crazy. Teams taking a 2-0 lead in the best of 7 series. 78-15 all time. That's almost 84%. Under the 2-3-2 format with 2-0 road teams taking the lead. Oh, this one's good. So in the new 2-3-2 format, if the road team took a 2-0 lead, they are 24-3 all time. That's damn near 89%. The current odds, Dodgers to win the NLCS is minus 1,200, which is a 92% implied odds. Mariners minus 650, which is an 86.7%. So there's value on the Mariners because history tells us there's about 89% chance that they go on to win, but the betting market's only got them at 86.7. A little bit of value there. Ooh, tonight's ALCS Game 3 hedge strategy. I love when we do hedge stuff. I love it. Let's see what he says. The anti-correlated hedge could win both bets. Okay. Shane Bieber over 14. Damn it. Over 14 and a half strikeouts. Or no, outs recorded. Okay. I thought it was strikeouts. I was like, damn. That's minus 114. Shane Bieber over 14 and a half outs recorded. So what is that? So basically that he goes 5 complete innings. Oh, it says it right there. Needs to go 5 innings minimum. Okay. In the Mariners minus a half a run first 5 innings at plus 102. That's an interesting strategy. If Bieber goes 5, Blue Jays probably win first 5. If Bieber's pulled before the 5th, Mariners likely winning. Shop around for a possible plus money grab on both. Ooh. So I see what you're saying. One of those has got to win. But there's a chance you can win both. And there also obviously is a chance you lose both. But if you can get plus money on both sides, not a bad play. Uh-oh. The Rangers make historic futility Leafs system cashes. So the Rangers lose 2-0 to the Oilers. First team ever shut out in their first 3 home games. Patriot, what's going on down there? What's going on down there in the ice? Has never happened in NHL history. Team shut out in the first 3 home games of the season. Rangers haven't scored at MSG yet. This is New York Rangers. Sorry, my bad. Patriot, my bad. I was thinking the baseball team, even though I know we're talking hockey. It's early. Need more coffee. Your team's the Stars, Dallas Stars. System update. After shutout, first period trend failed again. We'll have to listen to that and see, or I'll have to listen to that and see what that is. Maple Leafs 7, Predators 4, system play cashes. So second of a back-to-back in Toronto. Now it's 5 teams are now, if they're on a back-to-back and they have to play that second game in Toronto, those teams are now 5-25 straight up since 2021. Leafs even covered the puck line. Ooh. No Rangers slander, please. It's too early. I said it earlier. Grass guy told me to hush. Yeah, that's oh man. Good thing you got the Giants being a little fun right now, Grass guy. Because that'd be rough. That'd be rough if they were shitty. Your hockey team is shitty. Oh, look at that. I wish Cricket was here. Jack Eichel shots prop gold mine. Why Eichel overshots Prince money? He steals shots on goals. When Knight's going for a line change, normally you dump it and skate to the bench. Eichel skates to blue line and dumps it on the goaltender. Takes bounce, hits goalie's pads, equals a shots on goal. That wasn't shot. He was just dumping it, but he steals a shot like that. Vegas beat the Flames 4-2. Covered over 5.5 if you got early number, pushed at 6. Eichel goes over with 7 shots on goal. Damn. I'm going to tell Cricket about that tomorrow. You want to hear my Rangers take? Tune in this afternoon. Okay. NHL in October is still fluid. Nothing solid. That's right. What up, Derp? Derp is here. Says, where's Cricket at? Where's Cricket? Cricket usually takes Tuesdays and Wednesdays off. He does his show in the afternoon, but he's on here Monday, Thursday, and Fridays normally. Yesterday he just got the itch and wanted to come talk, but he's trying to not wear himself down with doing 2 shows every single day. So he's taking Tuesdays and Wednesday off since they're kind of non-major football days. So you guys are stuck with me. We'll have Steps and Cricket in here tomorrow. Ooh, here we go. We'll get to the Week 7 trench report. Yes. I can't wait for later today when the full report comes out. 2-week performance so far. So straight up, the top 5 picks last 2 weeks are 8-2 straight up. They went 4-1 the first week. They went 2-3 ATS last week for a combined 6-4 ATS. So not great. Not bad, but not great. 6-point teasers, not recommended, but just noting. If you were just to take these teams on a teaser, they would cover 9-1. Commanders crossed 0, but they lost by 1. Okay. So the Commanders were the only miss there. Here's the Week 7 top 5 mismatches. Ooh. Jimmy said, "Yep, let him walk. He'll walk you there. Wawa, the playground." We're going for 9-0 this Friday night, Will. Well, you guys better get it. You better get it done, Derp. Better get it done. What's the name of that? Better Day? Yep, betterday.com. Right here. Betterday.com. I recommend listening to the podcast. Like I said, it's just about a half hour each day. I mean, on Mondays, obviously, it's closer to an hour because it's recapping the whole weekend. But basically, what's in this newsletter, if you sign up and you subscribe, it's for free. You get an email every day during the weekdays of this, and it kind of goes over what they talk about in the podcast. If you don't have time to listen to the podcast, you can kind of just skim through it and read. But it is a good podcast. I've listened to it. When Scott was doing this over at pregame.com for the last like 3 or 4 years. And it's the same show, but now he has his own site and his own podcast. But they do a good job of giving you, they give you bets every day. They give you some, if you like historical trends, if you like anti-correlated parlays, if you like to do same game parlays, he does a good job of giving you a little bit of everything on that. But I like just the stats they give you and whatnot. And of course, I love the Trench Report, which is now named the Will Report. What up, Mighty Megatron? You hate talking to Punjabs? Okay. Well, good morning. Okay, the top 5 mismatches. Oh, he goes from worst to best. So number 5, Colts over the Chargers. I already like the Colts this week. This makes me feel better. Colts significant edge in the run blocking. Great teaser spot. We can take Indy from plus 1.5 up to 7.5. I do like that. Remember, teasers last 2 weeks are 9-1 in this. The Commanders over the Cowboys. Bouncing back from a turnover-plagued loss to the Bears. Washington -2, now only -1.5 after the loss. I do like the Commanders over the Cowboys. Broncos over the Giants. Situational concern. Denver returning from London without a bye versus Giants off a mini bye because they played on Thursday Night Football. Broncos lead the league with 5 sacks per game. Listen, and the way Dart runs and puts himself out there, he's got to be careful. Because you want to try to take shots against this, take unnecessary hits against this Denver's defense up at altitude. Good luck. Good luck. J-Main. He said, I got it. Haven't been checking my emails. Atta baby. If you like to listen to podcasts, like I said, just go download or go subscribe to his podcast too. Some guy from Maine says Bo Nix is bipolar. Yeah. Good thing is he had a shitty game in London. So let's hope the better side of him comes out. So I'll be on the Broncos. Grass Guy says take the points with the Giants. I don't know. What concerns me is I don't think Denver should be a 7-point favorite. I think that is way too high, which makes me think if the line doesn't come off 7, that's telling me the books are comfortable with that line. So I'm definitely going to hammer the Broncos at that point. The morons muffed not 1 but 2 punts, giving Arkansas State 14 points. Ew. And then the moron then muffs the last kickoff return. You can't win them all, dude. Can't win them all. Take the highlights. It doesn't sound like there were highlights of the game. It sounds like there were stuff that would make the not top 10. It says the Broncos are on pace to break the 85 Bears sack record. Maybe they will. But yeah, number 2 is yes. I love this. I love that my instincts were right on this. All these games I agree with. And number 2, the second biggest mismatch of the weekend is the Browns over the Dolphins. Initially thought Browns wouldn't be favored, but trench data supports it. Browns defense legit. Pass rush should get to Tua. Yeah, this is going to be a defensive win for the Browns. If they beat the Dolphins, give me that defense just smothers them. I'll wait like I did with the Jets. I need to see more. May have to deep dive into that Broncos game. Okay. Let me know what you come up with. Let me know what you find, J-Main. This weekend when we're talking football on the show, let me know what you find. Pretty good at finding those stats. And the number 1 biggest mismatch of the week is the Steelers over the Bengals. Oh, baby. I feel like the Bengals are always going to be at the top because they suck. They just suck. I mean, we got – is this the oldest primetime quarterback matchup? What do we got, a 42-year-old and a 40-year-old, 82 years of quarterback experience? That's going to be interesting. Bengals can't block and they can't run. Steelers second in the league with 4 sacks per game. Aaron Rodgers has quickest time to throw, helps the O-line grades. Interesting. Very interesting. Browns -3 is a lot with Gabriel. If you don't like the -3, just bet the Browns don't win. That's why I'm considering taking them in a Survivor. You know? That's interesting. So one more time, the top plays from the Trench Report this week: Steelers, Browns, Broncos, Commanders, Colts. The fact that the Browns are favored should tell you everything. That should tell you everything you need to know. The top 5 rushing mismatches. Last week's results, 3 of 5 running backs went over the rushing prop. So if you followed this last week, 3 of the 5 went over the rushing props. 4 of 5, wow, 4 or 5 of them score TDs. That is interesting. So this week, Packers over the Cardinals, so we should look at Josh Jacobs to score a touchdown. Colts over the Chargers, Jonathan Taylor. Panthers over the Jets, Rico Dowdle. Can he make it 3 straight 200-plus scrimmage games? Probably not. Rams over the Jaguars, Kyron Williams. Ooh, I think we look at Kyron Williams, London game, first TD score. And then the number 1 mismatch is Commanders over the Cowboys. You got Krosky and Merritt plus Jaden Daniels rushing. Interesting. The best value plays from the Trench Report. So this is looking at some of the underdogs. Falcons plus 2.5. Pretty likely back, but Fred Warner loss is massive. Was 3.5 last week. Reopened at 3. Now it's only plus 2. The Trench data says Falcons hold an advantage over the 49ers. Niners defense has gotten a lot worse. Has gotten worse and worse. Lost more pieces along the way. And then Falcons are a good teaser spot. I do like the Falcons, and I do like pairing them with the Colts there. Ooh, BetterDay.com upgrades coming. Interactive system data. Track all system references on podcasts. Current features dynamic picks page. Research and analysis tab. Okay. All right. They're going to get a little couple upgrades. But the Falcon, dude, it scares me because I was already thinking all these plays. I've been starting to think of what the Trench Report might show. And all those plays I agree with. So what could go wrong, you know? I took Chase Brown in the 5th, and he's been a massive L for me. It's been rough for running backs this year. Unless you have the foresight to see Rico Dowdle. You know what I mean? Who saw that coming? Okay, we're going to get into more football, but first, since I screwed up yesterday, I screwed up big time yesterday.
This guy sucks. Holy hell.
Yeah. Ooh, I just got another email. Hold on. I got to check something. Ooh, look at this. We might have to go into this. The full Trench Report just released. That's what my email was. Oh, baby. We got the full Trench Report. I can't wait to look at that. We'll do that next, though. Do that next. But first, we got to talk a little highlight. I forgot it was a highlight Tuesday. That is my bad. But today is a highlight Wednesday. We got Devils and the Cyclones today. Let's see what happened yesterday. Yesterday we had the Fireballs and the Warriors. Fireballs get a win over the Warriors, 4-2 victory. Man, the Fireballs I think are in top. I think they're in first place right now. Correa and Julian just manhandled Joseph and Ikeda 6-2, 6-1. Uruchi and Arats get it done, of course, over against Alex and Douglas. That actually was probably an upset 6-0. They came out pissing excellence. Joseph and Cabrera get it done over Correa and Gallo. Lalu defeats Manning. And then Uruchi and Cabrera get one over on Alex and Julian. But Douglas comes in after losing his doubles match. He comes in and defeats Arats 6-5 and 6-2. So today, let's take a look at what we got today. Today we got the Devils and the Cyclones. Kubala and Rock versus Stan and Robin. Kubala and Rock are probably going to be favored in that one since that's a substitution. Echeverry and our guy Benny. Shout out to Benny going against Hyro and Manu. Ooh, I bet you get Echeverry and Benny at plus money. I'd take them. Maybe even look at them 2-0. Nicholas and Kubala against Robin and Unda. That is going to be plus. That's going to be favorites for Nicholas and Kubala there. Benny versus Inaki. You know I can't bet against my guy Benny, especially if they lose their doubles match. You hammer Benny there. Benetrix versus Unda. Benetrix. Remember, we had Ben on. If you haven't seen it already, go over to Rumble. Go to my show. Check out this video here. One, give it a thumbs up because we want to show the World Highlight League some love. But this was my interview with Ben on Saturday. Go check it out. Pinned it at the top of the page. I do that every week. Pin those ones on top of the page for you. So it's easy to find. But Ben was talking about how Benetrix is really, really good and really picking up first season in the league and really picking things up and knows like the little tiny details. So I'll probably bet on Benetrix there. And then we get the Division 1 singles matchup, Nicholas and Manu. Ooh, baby. Manu is going to be favored in that one. I would look at Manu in that one. You can bet these, by the way. Let me pull it up. You can bet these over at DraftKings. DraftKings Sportsbook. You go over here. You go over to Sports, A to Z. Right underneath Hockey is Highlight. You click the World Highlight League. Here in a couple hours, the odds for all the matches today will be posted up there. But look at this. You got the Renegades, who are out of the playoff picture right now, plus 250 still. Fireballs, who just got a nice win last night, are up plus 425. Let's take a look at those standings right now. I'll post some of my plays that I like today over my X at GameOn_picks. But okay, Fireballs aren't in first place. They're in second place, though. They're right behind the Cyclones. That is impressive. Followed by the Warriors, Chargers, Renegades, defending champs, not doing so hot, but they do have a game tomorrow. Trying to a little get right game, but that's the World Highlight League. Links to their website, this website, social media, and everything is in the description of this stream. Go show them some love. If you want to watch the match tonight, it's at 5 p.m. Eastern over at ESPN 3, FUBO TV, and their YouTube channel. Go check out the World Highlight League. There we go. I remember to do it. Oh, we got this trench report, baby. We got the full trench report. You know what we're going to do? Put my X in chat. Yeah, okay, I got you. At GameOn_picks. Here, I'll show you too. So you know, that is my X right there. At GameOn_picks. Go give me a follow. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to go to a little Rumble Premium. I got to get some premium hours in. So what we're going to do at Rumble Premium, we're going to go over the detailed trench report, take the first look at that, and then we're going to go into maybe we'll listen to a little bit of the Better Day podcast, see what Scott had to say this morning. So let me end some things here. Remove Twitch. Remove. Boom. Remove Kick. Come over to Rumble. Game On Show over on Rumble. And then sorry, YouTube, we are going to have to shut things down on YouTube. J Main, you have a good day. Come over to Rumble if you want to see the rest of the show over at Game On Show over on Rumble. If not, I'll be covering this stuff tomorrow. But we're going to give the Rumble viewers a little sneak peek. But